I'm Mr. Dalvit, and I teach English. This year I've got 11th grade English and Bridge to College English, which is seniors.
Hola, soy el profe Dalvit y soy profesora de español. Este año tengo español 1, 3 y AP. I teach Spanish, and I have Spanish 1, Spanish 3, and AP this year.
I'm from just up the road in Bellingham, and that's where we live right now. I graduated from Seaholm High School in Bellingham.
Soy de Spokane, Washington. I'm from Spokane, although, now live in Bellingham. It makes for quite the commute every day, but love it and really love working at Mount Vernon.
I went to Seaholm High School up in Bellingham, Washington. I was at Western Washington University for 3 years. I took a year off to go play basketball in Germany. Then I was at Edmonds Community College for a year, and my last 2 years of undergrad were at Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington. And then I did teaching college at Western Washington University again.
And I went to East Valley High School in Spokane, go Knights, and I went to the University of Washington, go Dogs, for my undergrad, and then after that had a year as a World Teach volunteer in Chile, and came back and got my master's in teaching at Whitworth University in Spokane.
Why did I choose to teach English in high school? I've always enjoyed stories and reading and writing, and I took a lot of English classes in college and really enjoyed them. Ended up majoring in English, so it seemed like a natural fit.
And I chose to teach Spanish because I don't know why, ever since a young age, I wanted to learn another language, and I was focused on Spanish, kind of the black sheep of my family, and so I had an amazing experience. I love the idea of being able to code switch and switch between languages and be able to communicate with that many more people in the world and to experience different cultures. And so, I was passionate about it. I love the language. I love all the different cultures, and it's really enriched my life in a lot of ways, and I hope to share it. It's really important here in Skagit Valley and all of Washington State and this country as a whole. And so just be able to share that passion for the subject area and just something that I love and can continue learning more about every day.
Who has impacted my life the most? That's a difficult one. Both of my parents have had a really big influence on me and continue to do so. I'm eternally grateful and just overwhelmed by how much support they've given me throughout my life. And now our daughter is having a big impact on my life in a different way. I'm getting to pay it forward and try to fill the shoes that my parents have, as far as being supportive and loving, and it's been a lot of fun.
My parents also really instilled a lot of values in me that I hold dear and have shown me unconditional love and support. My grandpa really just was a cool guy and went through a lot of difficult times in his life and still was the sweetest, most generous and giving person, and just a good neighbor type of person that you could ask for. And our daughter definitely teaches you really learn about the value of unconditional love and caring for somebody, and like I said earlier, seeing the world through new eyes and seeing it as we kind of forget to see the world as we get older and become adults and get sucked up into the real world, and realizing that there's all of this imagination and fantasy to be found and all of this mystery still around to experience. And so, several people, not just one.
So far, my absolute favorite memory is the birth of our daughter. I waited so long to meet her, and it was just incredible to finally get to see her and see the look of joy on Mrs. Dalvit's face, and it was awesome. So I'll never forget that.
Yeah, definitely a life-changing moment to transition from just being married to being parents. And that was a huge identity shift also, where I'm not just a daughter or a wife or a sister or a teacher. I'm now a mother, which is the biggest responsibility, I feel like, being a parent, but also one of the most rewarding things. And so that, although it was exhausting, and newborn phase I didn't do well with, but definitely just a life-changing experience and memory. A lot of great memories that throughout that it's nice to cherish. So yeah.
In my free time, I love spending time with my friends and family, and working out is huge for me for both mental and physical health. I like to play basketball. I like to go hiking and get outdoors. Also, reading is a lot of fun. I need my introverted downtime, so just to be quiet with a book and enjoy a good story.
I don't know what free time is. We have a 20-month-old at home, so a lot of our time spent chasing her around, which I also love, and just seeing the world through new eyes has been really exciting, and showing her and rediscovering all of these things that these little things we stop noticing every day. I love volleyball. I haven't been playing as much. I gave up coaching after having our daughter, but love volleyball growing up. I love being outside and hiking and being on the water. I love to fish. Haven't been doing as much of that lately either. And hiking and camping. What else? I like to work out too, although I'm more of an angry exerciser. I rage through a workout and then I feel better. And I enjoy reading and drawing. I love to cook, but mostly because I just love to eat. So yeah, I like to go to restaurants, try new foods, experience travel. Love to travel. So taking care of my travel bug, and we're going to Europe this summer. So yeah.
So one funny moment from my teaching career is I had a classroom door that was metal and had a pretty heavy slam to it. It was pretty weighty, and for some reason there was something wrong with the door handle, so the door handle just came off one day. But I thought, why not just put it back on and see what happens? And the first person to come in the door during class was this really small girl, and she just pulled it off in her hand, and everybody reacted like she just Incredible Hulked the handle off the door. So we got a good laugh out of that one.
So mine's a little bit longer. I am a UW grad. I'm a Husky through and through, purple and gold. And when I started my career in Longview, there was a group of students who were Wazoo fans and wanted to give me a bad time about that. And so one day they planned all this stuff. It was Apple Cup week, and I had decorated my room all purple and gold and hung banners and signs and Husky stuff everywhere. And at the end of the week, I think it was Friday, this one student showed up head to toe crimson and gray. He had body painted, like any exposed skin was crimson, and was wearing Cougar stuff head to toe. He was a really good student, straight A student, never got in trouble. And when I'd seen him earlier in the day, so I called the campus security office earlier in the day, and I explained, hey, so-and-so's got all this stuff on. Do you think we could pull a prank on him? So in the middle of a class, our campus police officer and security guards show up looking, and they walk in and say, "Is William here?" And so he almost wet himself and just looked terrified, and everyone else is, "Oh, what did he do?" Because he never did. He never had any discipline, nothing on his file. And they took him out of the room. And about 20 minutes later, he showed up and just handed me a piece of paper. Our security guard is also a huge Husky fan, and he had a giant Washington W painted in his office in purple and gold. And they took him in there. They handed me, they'd taken a picture of him bowing down to Washington, like the fight song for the Huskies. Took a picture of him, printed it off 8.5 by 11, and made him come back to my room and hand deliver it to me. So I got to hang that on the wall for the rest of the year, the wall of honor or shame. So that was they had to tell him he was being pranked fairly early on because he was so worried. I'm horrible.